This video was requested by one of my subscribers. They want to know why their pot holder comes out as a rectangle instead of as a square. Now, when you make it, usually the amount of stitches you chain is half the amount of rolls that you do up. So I usually do 34 chains and I do 17 rounds. So when you open it up and lay it flat, you have 17 and 17, which makes 34. Now if you move it around a little bit, you can actually turn it into a rectangle. If you're careful and you make sure your chain loop is in the center, then it'll help you make your pot holder a square. Now when I do mine, I always have about a finger's width gap in between. So when I sew it together, it's kind of tight. I kind of pucker it up a little bit so it stays nice and snug. Now here's a couple of reasons why maybe even though you've got the amount of stitches and rounds you need, it's still not coming out right. I made this one extra long to represent somebody who crochets a little more looser than I do. So when you go to close it up, as you can see, it's really close. But yeah, you'll also notice it's not a square. By having that extra round or the extra fatness or larger stitches, it makes it a little more off kilter. That's why when I do mine, I always have this one space in between. Now if you accidentally make it a little tighter than what I do, let me take this out down to 16 rounds, a little bit, almost there. You have it at 16 rounds. As you notice, it's a lot wider. And then when you try to squish it together, as you can see, it really distorts and puckers it. So for me, the best rule of thumb is after you've made it, you have about a finger's width here. So when you push it together and stitch it, it really helps it maintain its square. Now also when I do it as I stitch here, I kind of tighten it and kind of make it pucker just a smidgen all the way through. And that helps give me my square effect. Now if you want, you could add one more half of a round. And when you put it together, it may make a better square. But if you've got the right amount of stitches and it's looking pretty good, but it still is off like that, all you have to do is just move your pot holder a little to the left or a little to the right and keep fussing with it until you get your square that you're looking for. I hope this helps.